In Consumer Corner, we take a look at trends creating a buzz online in China. On today's show, we will look at how Chinese internet users comment on commuting to work between cities by high-speed train. First-tier cities, such as Beijing and Shanghai, represent both opportunity and difficulty. For young people without a house, the rent is simply unaffordable. But on the other hand, there are not as many opportunities outside of these first-tier cities. This is why recently commuting between cities like Beijing and Tianjin by high-speed rail has become a popular topic. Beijing Youth Daily interviewed a Tianjin resident surnamed Lu, who every day takes the Beijing-Tianjin intercity high-speed train. Mr. Lu uses a little over 2 hours and a half commuting between his workplace in Beijing and his home in Tianjin. And his costs associated with this are more than $420 per month. But Mr. Lu is not the only one. There are many other people who commute the same way in which Mr. Lu does. Furthermore, some even comment that 2 hours is an even shorter commute than from a nearby suburb to an urban area. Commuting by high-speed train is not limited to those who work in Beijing. It is also common in other first-tier cities like Shanghai. In Shanghai, there is an intercity high-speed rail between Shanghai and Suzhou. Previously, in 2012, Shanghai Morning Post reported on Railroad Authority adjustments to their high-speed train plan, making it more efficient. These adjustments assured that Shanghai commuters who lived in Suzhou would not be late for work. High-speed rail transportation is commonly accepted as an expensive type of travel by ordinary Chinese people. For Chinese people, $420 per month on commuting is an astonishing amount to spend solely on transportation. But the rationale that makes commuting by high-speed train legitimate is the extremely high rent in first-tier cities like Beijing. The average rent per house in Beijing from housing agency 5i5J is more than $630 per month. Even rent costs in major Beijing suburbs are more than $420. This is significantly more than the cost to commute between Beijing and Tianjin, regardless of the fact that many chose to share an apartment in order to lower the cost. But living with strangers can create inconveniences, if not trouble. For those who have a house in Tianjin and have a sufficient income, commuting by high-speed train is a viable option. Currently, most people who commute through high-speed rail are those who have a house in Tianjin. But let's also consider the cost of renting a house in Tianjin and commuting by high-speed rail. Is this also a viable option? enorth.com.cn shows the average rent for a house in Tianjin to be more than $180 per month. But the report finds that the actual rent is much higher than this number. This would then make the total cost to commute by high-speed rail to Beijing equal to or even more expensive than renting a house in Beijing. As a result, commuting by high-speed rail could be considered a luxury limited to residents who already own a home in Tianjin. Currently, this is a popular topic on Weibo. Web users even have a specific forum for discussing the situation called Diary of Beijing-Tianjin Intercity Commuting. And many people have commented. One supporter of this commuting method wrote, quote,
"You can't find a decent apartment with a rent of just $420 per month. Integration of both Beijing and Tianjin's transportation system has shortened the distance between these cities to just 30 minutes. It is as convenient as taking the subway within Beijing. I think I might consider this commute in the future."
Some netizens satirize this situation as a huge waste caused by deficiencies of housing market regulations and urban planning. One such netizen wrote, quote,
Mr. Lu takes a high-speed train from Tianjin, spent 2 hours and $420 to get to work in Beijing. He thinks this is better than buses where you feel like sardines in a tin and renting a house in Beijing. This is a clear denouncement of high housing prices and a huge waste on social resources, a criticism on the government's misuse of resources allocation.
Some netizens don't think this is a big issue, since a lot of people are doing this in other places like Shanghai. One such netizen wrote, quote,
That can be counted as an important topic. Then what about us who take high-speed trains from other nearby places to Shanghai?
The rapid development of the high-speed rail system and outrageous housing prices have created this new phenomenon of commuting by high-speed train. Currently, the construction of high-speed rails continues as the government is pushing for urbanization. But will this phenomenon continue to occur in the future? Or will more economic chances be dispersed into medium and small cities? These could all be possible solutions, but none of them are certain.